Imagine waking up one day and realizing you can't fit into a normal car seat, that you haven't seen your feet in months, that walking to the mailbox feels like climbing a mountain. For over 100 million Americans, this isn't imagination, it's their reality every single day. Right now, 42% of Americans are obese, not just overweight, obese. That's almost half the country, guys. And here's what's really wild. In the 1960s, that number was only 13%. So what happened? How did we go from one of the fittest nations on earth to one of the heaviest in just 60 years? Today, we're going deep into the real science behind America's weight crisis. And I'm warning you, what you're about to learn will completely change how you see food, your body, and the world around you. Let's get into it. All right, so first things first, let's talk about something nobody wants to admit: genetics. You've probably heard people say, "It runs in my family," when talking about weight, right? And here's the thing, they're not making excuses. Science actually backs this up, and it's honestly kind of scary. Studies show that genetics account for about 40 to 70% of the differences in body weight between people. That's huge. Your genes literally influence how your body stores fat, how fast your metabolism runs, and even how hungry you feel after eating. But here's where it gets interesting. Scientists have identified over 400 different genes related to obesity. 400. One of the most famous is called the FTO gene. People with certain variations of this gene, they burn fewer calories at rest and feel hungrier after eating. It's like your body's thermostat is set differently from birth, you know? There's also something called the thrifty gene hypothesis. Our ancestors who survived famines were the ones whose bodies were really good at storing fat when food was available. Those survival genes, they got passed down through generations. The problem is, we're not living through famines anymore, but our bodies still think we might. Your body is literally programmed to hold on to every calorie like it might be your last meal. Isn't that crazy? But, and this is critical, genes are not destiny. They load the gun, but your environment pulls the trigger. Which brings us to the question, if our genes haven't changed in 60 years, why has obesity exploded? What changed in our environment? Here's what nobody tells you about American food. It's scientifically designed to make you eat more. I'm not talking conspiracy theories, guys. I'm talking about actual food scientists in labs creating the perfect combination of sugar, salt, and fat to hit what's called the bliss point, the exact formula that makes your brain light up like a Christmas tree. Think about it. When's the last time you ate one Oreo, one chip, one French fry? You can't, right? Because these foods are engineered to override your natural "I'm full" signals. But it goes deeper than that, and honestly, it makes me kind of angry. The average American now consumes 3,600 calories per day. That's almost double what we need. And get this, portion sizes have tripled since the 1950s. A medium soda used to be 7 ounces. Now it's 32 ounces. That's not an accident, that's marketing. Here's the really scary part. Ultra-processed foods now make up 60% of the American diet. These aren't just unhealthy foods. They're foods that literally bypass your body's ability to regulate hunger. When you eat whole foods, like an apple, your body releases hormones that tell your brain, "Okay, we're good, stop eating." But ultra-processed foods, they short-circuit that system. They're absorbed so fast that your satiety hormones never kick in properly. It's like trying to fill up a bucket with a hole in the bottom. You just keep eating, and you're never satisfied. And then there's the economic reality, which breaks my heart. In America, healthy food costs 3 times more per calorie than junk food. A burger, fries, and soda? $5. A salad with grilled chicken? $12. If you're working 2 jobs and feeding a family on $30,000 a year, what are you going to choose? This isn't a personal failure, guys. This is a system designed to keep you eating cheap, high-calorie food. But wait, there's another factor nobody talks about, and it's happening in your brain right now. Let me blow your mind for a second. When you eat a piece of chocolate cake, your brain releases the same dopamine that it releases when someone uses cocaine. I'm not exaggerating. Brain scans show almost identical patterns. How insane is that? And just like with drugs, you build tolerance. You need more and more to get the same high. This is why people who regularly eat junk food find healthy food boring. Their dopamine receptors are literally desensitized. But here's where it gets even crazier. Your gut has its own brain. Scientists call it the enteric nervous system, and it contains over 100 million neurons. Your gut bacteria, yes, the tiny organisms living in your intestines, actually communicate with your brain and influence your cravings. Studies show that people with obesity have different gut bacteria than lean people. And when scientists transplanted gut bacteria from obese mice into thin mice, the thin mice started gaining weight, eating the exact same food as before. Let that sink in for a second. Your gut bacteria are literally telling your brain what to eat. And in America, we're feeding our gut bacteria a steady diet of sugar and processed foods, which makes them demand more sugar and processed foods. It's a vicious cycle, and it's honestly kind of terrifying when you think about it. But there's one more piece of this puzzle that most people completely miss, and it has nothing to do with food. Obesity is contagious, not like a virus, but socially. A Harvard study tracked 12,000 people for 32 years and found something shocking. If your friend becomes obese, your chances of becoming obese increase by 57%. If a sibling becomes obese, 40%, even if they live hundreds of miles away. Why? Because weight isn't just about what you eat, it's about what's normal around you. If your friends eat fast food every day, you'll eat fast food every day. If your family considers dessert after every meal normal, that becomes your normal. If everyone around you is sedentary, being sedentary feels natural. Humans are social creatures, right? We unconsciously mirror the behaviors of people around us. It's how we survived for thousands of years, by fitting in with our tribe. The problem is, we're now fitting in with a tribe that's eating itself to death. There's also something called social permission. When you see someone bigger than you eating a huge meal, your brain goes, okay, this is acceptable behavior. You give yourself permission to do the same. And then there's the cultural aspect. In many communities, especially lower income areas, being overweight is the norm. It's not seen as a health crisis, it's just life. Food is love. Food is celebration. Food is comfort. I'm not judging this, I'm explaining it, because until we understand these social dynamics, we can't fix the problem. But here's what really keeps people trapped. Your environment is working against you every single day, and most people don't even realize it. Let me paint you a picture. You wake up, drive to work because most American cities are built for cars, not walking. You sit at a desk for 8 hours. You drive home. You're exhausted, so you order delivery. You watch TV until bed. In that scenario, you maybe took 2,000 steps. The average American takes 3,000 to 4,000 steps per day. In Japan, 7,000. In Switzerland, 9,500. It's not that Americans are lazier. Our cities literally aren't designed for walking. There are no sidewalks, no bike lanes. Everything is spread out. You have to drive. And when you drive everywhere, you don't move. Then there's work culture. Americans work more hours than almost any other developed country. We're stressed, sleep-deprived, and have no time to cook, so we eat whatever's fast and convenient. And stress itself makes you fat, guys. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol, which increases appetite and makes you crave sugar and fat. It's your body's ancient response to danger. Better store energy in case we need to run from a predator. Except the predator is your boss, your bills, your schedule, and you can't run from those. Sleep deprivation is even worse. Studies show that people who sleep less than 6 hours a night have 30% higher rates of obesity. Why? Because lack of sleep disrupts the hormones that control hunger, ghrelin and leptin. You end up hungrier with less willpower to resist cravings. It's like fighting with one hand tied behind your back. So you've got a genetic predisposition, you're surrounded by engineered food, your social circle normalizes overeating, and your environment makes healthy choices nearly impossible. It's not one thing, it's everything. So here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. For most Americans, obesity isn't a personal failure, it's a systemic failure. We've built a society where the default option, the easiest, cheapest, most convenient option, is the unhealthy option. And then we blame individuals for making the wrong choice. How messed up is that? Your genes might make you more likely to gain weight. The food industry designs products to make you overeat. Your social circle normalizes unhealthy habits. Your environment makes exercise inconvenient. Your stress and lack of sleep sabotage your willpower. You're not weak, guys. You're fighting against a system that's rigged against you. But here's the good news. Understanding all this is the first step to changing it. You can't control your genes, but you can control your environment. You can't change your gut bacteria overnight, but you can start feeding them better foods. You can't redesign your city, but you can make small changes, parking further away, taking the stairs, walking after dinner. And most importantly, you can stop blaming yourself and start demanding better from the system. Because until we fix the food industry, urban planning, work culture, and social norms, this crisis will only get worse. The question is, are we ready to have that conversation? If this video opened your eyes to something new, hit that like button and subscribe, because we're going to keep exposing the truth about health, science, and the systems that shape our lives. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.